girls, and welcome back to my channel. So as you've seen on the title of the video, today we are going to do a first impression, a review, and a wear test of this fairly new foundation from Dior. This is the Forever Skin Glow by Dior. On their website, this foundation is described as a clean Dior foundation that has up to 24 hours of wear and provides visibly radiant medium to full coverage and hydration. And the reason why they call it clean is because it is free from all of these ingredients. When it comes to claim, they claim that this foundation is heat and humidity resistant and delivers up to 24 hours of color true wear and hydration, while also reducing the appearance of pores for a smooth and visibly radiant complexion. So before trying this foundation, I've already prepped my skin and I'm just going to use my e.l.f. primer. This is the poreless primer. This is what I've been using when I was doing my other foundation review, so I want to be consistent and just use one product as a primer. This is what my face looks like before the foundation. I mentioned I have combination skin, super oily T-zone, and then on the rest of my face I have dry patches, especially now because it's winter here in Canada. But I'm mostly oily, so we'll see how this performs. So on the right side of my face, I'm going to use a brush, and then on the left side of my face, I'm going to use a sponge. When it comes to packaging, I really like the packaging. It's what you expect from Dior. They say that the packaging is also recyclable. You just have to remove the cap before putting it to recycling. It's also a plus point for Dior. Let's put one pump. I would say that this one has the thickest consistency compared to other radiant foundations that I have used. So maybe this would give me more of that full coverage. So I got the shade 3N. Looking at what I dispersed on my hand, I feel like it's gonna be a little dark for my skin tone, but we'll just work it out. I would say that this is actually good being applied with a brush. It doesn't give me like brush streaks, and it's applying really well. It has a very strong scent, like it's like a floral scent. I think it kind of reminds me of the YSL Touche Éclat smell, but this one has like a really strong floral scent. I think I got a shade darker than my skin tone. Maybe if you're an NC30, NC25, try to get 2 shades lighter than this. This is just with one pump. I would say that it's giving me a medium coverage just with one pump. When it comes to radiant, I don't see any glow on my skin. I feel like it's more matte, but I like that bouncy effect on my skin. We'll try the sponge on my other side. I like the sponge side better. This looks more radiant than the brush side. So this is my full face with the foundation. Now that I've used the sponge, I can really see the radiance of this foundation. Although when it comes to my pores, you can really see my pores, and I don't think it really helps in minimizing my pores. But it really evened out my skin tone. It gave me full coverage with 2 pumps. And I can really see the radiance on my face, especially on my cheekbones. When I was applying this foundation, the thing that really kind of threw me off was the scent of this foundation. Although I really like a lot of scented things, this foundation really has a strong floral scent. On their website, they said that this only has 1% synthetic fragrance, so the rest of the fragrance are all natural. But when it comes to foundation, I rather have a non-scented foundation because I just don't want my face to be covered with scent, and I just don't want that scent to linger on my face the whole day. But we'll see, maybe it will just go away as the time passed by. I just finished my makeup and I use a cream bronzer, a cream blush, and then on top of that I also use a powder contour and powder blush. And now that I have all my powder makeup on top, I don't see the radiance on my skin anymore. My pores, like I put powder on top just so it can really blur out my pores. But since this foundation really lays flat on my skin, I could really see my pores. So far my textured skin is not loving this foundation as much. So before I do my wearability test, I usually put a finishing spray, and usually I use a matte finishing spray for a dewy foundation or just like a regular finishing spray. But today, since I'm really missing the radiance and this foundation is really laying flat on my skin, I'm going to use the NYX Dewy Finish Spray. Now let's look at this foundation on photography with flash and non-flash. This is also a photo of me on natural light using my phone. And here's a close-up video using natural light. As you can see, I have been seeing texture that I didn't know was on my face before. On the camera, I don't see that texture so much. I really like the coverage that this foundation is giving me, but really up close, you can really see the texture of my skin around my jaw, around my cheeks. Really, my textured skin is not loving this foundation. And I use a lot of powder to set my face and put my blush and my bronzer on. But usually with radiant foundation, the radiance will still show through. But this looks pretty matte to me. Let's see if this foundation is also transfer proof. It doesn't claim that, but we'll see. I would say that it's semi-transfer proof. Like there's a little transfer, but it's not too much. I went downstairs on natural light and I was surprised. It really oxidized on me, and I'm not acidic. I don't remember the last time I put on a foundation that oxidized on my skin. Here where I didn't put my contour, it's just foundation and setting powder. It's kind of orangey gray now. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna film it on my cell phone as well so you can see what I'm talking about, but I never had this happen with my other foundation before. I don't know, this is not a good day for this Dior foundation. I mean, I don't know, it just wasn't working for my textured skin, and now it's oxidizing and it's darker. I know that I already got a darker shade than what I'm supposed to get, but now it's oxidizing on my skin. So I'll update you at the 4th hour and on the 8th hour, and I'll be back. So this is the 4th hour. Do you guys see the difference when it was freshly applied to now? It's really dark, and in person too, like my husband was commenting like, you're getting darker and darker. I think it's really oxidizing on my face, but the coverage is really good. My face still looks like what it looked like the first time I applied the foundation. Everything is still intact. Even my blush, my contour, everything is still intact. Like nothing really moved. I'm not super oily on my T-zone. So when it comes to wearability, I give this foundation a thumbs up. Didn't put a highlighter, and I can see a little radiance on my cheekbones. I thought that on the 4th hour, it wouldn't look that powdery anymore, but it still looks matte. I can still see a little radiance on the top of my cheeks. I didn't put any highlighter, and maybe on my forehead, but on the rest of my face, I can't really see that radiant effect. So it's currently 9:41 p.m. so it has been 9 hours and 41 minutes, and this is how my face looks like. The foundation is still intact. Like the only thing that wore off was the part of my nose, but that's totally my fault because I was wiping my nose. And the foundation kind of clung on the side of my nose. Just a little. But on the other parts of my face, the foundation really held well. So I'm going to use a blotting sheet. And we're gonna blot the oil on my T-zone. Oh, that's a lot. This is how the blotting sheet looks like now. Now that I blot my face, my foundation looks fresh again. It's really still intact. Nothing has moved except except for my nose, which is my fault. So when it comes to their claims that this could wear up to 24 hours, that might be possible. And now that we're done with the try on, the photo test, the wearability test, I am ready to give you my final thoughts. I'm giving this foundation a 2.5 stars out of 5 stars. I like that this foundation will give you full coverage with just 2 pumps, and it can wear up to 8 hours. It's also light on the face, and my cream products and my powder products just really blended well on top of this base. I also like that they made the formula clean and remove all the harmful ingredients. But the reason I'm only giving this a 2.5 stars is because I'm really missing the radiance. I would say this is a soft matte, but I wouldn't consider it as a radiant foundation as they were claiming. It's really laid flat on my face, so I can really see my pores and also the texture on the side of my jaw, which I never really knew existed. It really oxidized on my face. I don't know if the camera can really capture it with all my lights. Every time I go downstairs with natural light and check my face in the mirror, I feel like it's getting darker and darker. And the scent was very strong the first time I put it on. I can still smell a little bit of it. Most of it is gone by now, but I just don't like very scented foundation, especially if I'm going to put it all over my face. I would recommend this to people with normal to oily skin that needs a foundation is very long wearing if texture is not a concern, because again, if you have a lot of texture on your face, this foundation tends to highlight those textures. I can't find the ingredients on this new formula. I tried to look at the ingredients at Sephora or even at their website, but I can't see the ingredients. But I found the ingredients of the old formula, and the old formula actually has alcohol in it. And maybe that's the reason why this foundation is very long wearing. Now, alcohol is not really good for your skin, especially if you'll be putting it on every day. So I wouldn't recommend this for an everyday foundation. So that concludes my review on this fairly new foundation from Dior. And on my next video, I'll be reviewing, I'm so excited, the new foundation from Patrick Starrr, the One Size Turn Up the Base BBB Cream Beauty Blur Balm. I'm so excited to try this on, and I can't wait to share with you guys my thoughts on this foundation on my next video. In the meantime, don't forget to check my foundation playlist where I review both high-end and drugstore foundations. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll always be updated once a new video is out. Thank you so much, Charles, again for watching. I'll see you in my next one.